saying it is, but dude, let's take a look at like gyms, for instance. The meme. There's a really, really funny video where it's a guy's lifting, curling or whatever, and then a woman walks onto the treadmill in front of him and his head spins all the way back around. Because there are a ton of these videos where a guy's minding his own business and he becomes viral just because he says something like, "Hey, are you done lifting those?" And then she's like, "How dare you talk to me?" And it's laughably insane. That one where this woman is working out and one of the guys who works the gym comes up and he's like, "Is everything okay, ma'am?" And she goes, "Excuse me." And he's like, "Is there an issue?" And she goes, "There's no problem. Why are you talking to me?" He's like, "Ma'am, I work here." And she's like, "Well, you can't tell me what to do." That clip goes mad viral because it was comeuppance for a lot of these situations. Let's put it this way. Let's say in only one out of 10 or 1 out of 50 instances, a guy walks up to a girl very politely and says, "How do you do, ma'am? My name's, Rick, and couldn't help but notice you shopping at this here bookstore, and I live in the area. I'm trying to make friends." How does he know that he's not going to end up with a viral clip, a picture taken, accusing him of being a rapist, a creep?
I'll tell you, because again, I think this is another instance. I think all of us are guilty of this, that we live too much on the internet, in that a lot of our perspectives are influenced because we are so online all the time.
I'm with you on talking to women in person, by the way.
100%.
I agree that guys need to go out there and talk to women.
And this all starts, by the way, with the fathers, right? My sons will have absolutely no problem talking to women, being confident with women. Like, it all starts there. And this is like my whole mission of, like, a lot of the problems that you're talking about are eliminated with present, strong fathers who show their sons how to be confident, successful men and good leaders of the family. But
here's the thing. You got to understand, the women that your sons are going to talk to aren't going to have fathers. So though I know it's optimal, it's what you're saying is optimal. I agree with everything that you're saying. Yeah. But my thing is, I'm adapting, guys, for the new normal. These girls are hoes, man. I'm just like, dude, like, we just gotta keep it 1,000.
Like, don't hang out in areas with women.
No. But dude, this is what I'm trying to say.
Instagram.
Like, hold on. Here's the thing.
Go to church.
Like, because you're saying like, go up, talk to the girl, etc. Let me just give you guys the game plan, okay? A woman's goal is to sell you purity so that you commit to her. The man's goal is to sell success so that she'll want to commit to, so that he can give commitment to her to some degree if he finds her attractive. I want guys to be able to detect if a girl is actually pure or not. The only way you're going to be able to see a woman's character and her purity, because she's going to tell you a bunch of BS, you need to get out there and deal with girls. You need to be able to pick up on certain red flags that you're only going to gain through dating experience and dealing with a multitude of women. But you won't know the better.
Dating and having sex with 50 women are different things. Like, how long would it take to date 50 people and have sex with them?
Okay.
Like, cause I think like that's
what they're saying, a month and a half.
No, well, we're not saying that. We're not saying that. But what I am saying is that the reason why I say 50 in general, right, and it's a very controversial take, is that because, dude, if you go to a university, right, and there's more women going to college now than men, by the way. Women dominate college attendance. What do you think the girls are doing there? They're besides pursuing useless degrees, they're smashing. These girls, I know girls that will get laid like 20 dudes in a semester easily, if not more. So by the time a girl's, done with Greek life, done with college, etc., pursuing her master's degree or whatever it may be, a lot of these girls will have double-digit body counts. And I don't want guys to go into a situation where they have 5 bodies, she has 50 bodies, she's going ahead and selling him purity, telling him what he wants to hear. He doesn't know better because he hasn't dealt with enough women. And then next thing you know,
aren't you contributing to the problem though by having sex with a bunch? Aren't you just creating more?
Yeah, you men have to have sex with women.
Wait. If women are going to have bazookas in the sexual marketplace, I'm going to arm the guys with the bazookas. I got you. Fire with fire.
I got you. Social media has already armed them, my friend. TikTok, Instagram, there's no denying. Yeah, you said get off of social media. Bro, no one's getting off of it. They're actually more in tune to it, and as well from young ages. So ultimately, they're being brainwashed by social media from the very beginning. So at the dad,
it's not
you can help counteract, but not all the way.
I think where we're becoming like, I say this ironically, arch enemies on this topic is like, you guys kind of seem like you want to exploit the current culture to the best of your ability. I'm more of like a resist guy, and maybe that's naive of me, but I'm more like, fuck that. I'm resisting this new reality, and I want to create the type of men who are better than this.
That's exactly how I see it. But I wouldn't say exploit. I think they're
adapting to it.
We're adapting.
Sure, that's a better word.
Like you're giving the ideal, which I agree with,
Yeah.
but I'm giving the real of what they really are dealing with. These women are not the same, dude. Like if it was 1953 and the girls came, from a God-fearing household, they had their father in place, religion was a thing, shame was a thing, there was no social media, women actually were women and they were feminine and they weren't the masculine, butchering, ridiculous women that they are nowadays, I would tell you, yes, let's do it. But unfortunately, I cannot dispense that advice. That is the equivalent to giving them a butter knife and telling them, go into this gunfight. These women are different. They've changed. Men haven't changed, but women have.
But stay away from these areas. Like, I don't think the situation you're describing affects people who go to church. A little bit.
What?
Tim. Okay, hold on.
No, let me explain. Okay, a guy who lives in a small town, rural area, who meets Jason, who is in church, and then there's a beautiful young woman, and then after church, as everyone's leaving, they're talking and everything, and they say, "I want you to meet my niece. She just moved into town. She's from another small town." You're not going to run into a hoe with 50 body counts, most likely in that scenario.
You are right. However, once again, this thing here called a cell phone permeates homes, bombshells, everything. Because guess what? That girl that's a small town girl, she might be beautiful, young, and purity wise, but she can on TikTok. Her friends hit her on social media. Come with us to Miami for a vacation, girl. Leave your husband for a little bit.
Let's go to Tulum.
The moment she leaves or gets on social media, it's a wrap. Because guess what? That whole, I want to say, agenda of, okay, stick to one man, family is great. But once this gets into your hands, bro, you never know. You never know.
Really? Okay, here's the deal. I would get, my wife doesn't know who y'all are, okay? I would give you her number today.
Yeah.
And give you as long as you wanted to try to infiltrate that with money. Well, you can't do it with money, but with whatever.
He looks at his watch.
I got one too. I got one too.
I got that nice Rolex.
I said nice watch.
You
I got
can
one
use
too.
whatever tools at your disposal.
Yeah.
And I would bet you $1 million, a real offer.
And you picked a good one. Good.
Okay, but so this is what I'm saying. Who are we talking to? Because I thought we were talking to the 1%. Like we're trying to talk to the 1% of men, right? The high value. We're trying to build high value men, right? That's all of our goals, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like the advice that we're talking about right now is for the general population, which is debauchery, casual sex. Like I'm talking
fire with fire.
Okay,
man.
but I'm talking to I want to talk to the 1% of men who are willing to, however many women, it doesn't matter the number of women that you have sex with. It doesn't matter as long as you're in pursuit of that purpose. But I'm talking to this 1% of men who are willing to find the woman that I'm referring to when I talk about my wife, to find her, to wait for her, to commit to her, and to do that without and being sure enough in yourself as a man that you don't need to do all this other stuff, because there is enough women, good women, for the top 1% of men. There might not be enough women for every man, right? Because not everybody's high value, not everybody's going to be that 1%. But if you want to be high value, there are enough quality women for you that you don't have to do that whole.
Our thing is, we're more general. We want to talk to everybody, and we want guys to understand how to really navigate the sexual marketplace. And I get it. Like your wife, you probably did a fantastic job. You screened her out, and you picked the best girl. But we want guys to be in a position to be able to do that as well. Not everybody's going to be lucky where they're going to meet a God-fearing woman that doesn't come with a promiscuous past. A lot of women do, unfortunately, because they're incentivized to be hoes. So we want guys to be able to identify those girls and not commit to them.
And Tim,
So let me just say this. Like,
yeah, please.
My view. I don't have a perfect analogy, so this is not entirely fair, but my view of how you guys are describing it is like somebody grows up on the south side of Chicago in the hood or whatever.
Yeah.
And what are most kids doing? They're selling dope, pot, I'm not talking about heroin or anything like that. And they can get in trouble. They know it's no good, but the attitude that they have is always, bro, this is the reality. You're not going to be able to go to the north side and get a good job and make $30,000 a year as an entry-level position. The only way you're going to be able to succeed in this day and age is to adapt and join the gang and sell the pot.
Facts.
Some people will be like, I will do whatever it takes to not be a part of whatever that is and put my life in this position, even though that's what everyone around you is doing. Some people get out of those situations and they figure it out. Maybe that is only the 1%. But my advice to people, and again, I'm not saying it's completely fair because there's a difference between dating and doing something illegal. My attitude is basically don't just give in to this world you're being forced to adhere to. I agree more just about resist that and try and figure it out.
I would argue thus it's the other way around. Most guys don't know what we're talking about, and they're actually selling the dope and doing what they're not supposed to be doing and becoming a statistic instead of doing what we're teaching them, which is you need to adapt to the new normal, right? And you have to use unorthodox techniques because what they told you before was get married, find a family, etc. Even though that's good advice, the reality is that doesn't necessarily work in 2023. So you need to adapt to new normal and innovate.
So let's jump into marriage.
Sure.
It is not uncommon